Hello everybody, welcome back. So let's have a look at just have a look at Matic and Bitcoin for now. So we'll start off with Matic. So what I was saying yesterday was we got our first area of support on this moving average. The first moving average that showed any kind of relevance being the 7-day moving average, and that held up on this level here. It's also held up as of yesterday. Today it broke down, so that's okay. It's no big deal. What we're now looking to see is if the 10-day close will hold, which has sort of it's proved as a bit of a launching point for this one here. So I'm hoping that it will hold at least for today's candle. If it does, that'll bring us down to pretty much almost where we are right now, a little bit further to go, to be honest with you. On the tether pairing, that's 1.45 cent. And on the Satoshis, we're looking at about 70 to 71 Satoshis. That's where we should find our level of support for the day, unless Bitcoin decides to go below 8,000, which it probably is going to do. Maybe not today, but it's on the cards. So all we need to know about Matic is that we've made significant gains. We're having sizable pullbacks now, which is perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. We're not going to be looking to be making any big pumps, and there's no reason for us to pump right now. I expect a lot of this pump now, thinking about it, was on the back of the fact that it's going to be available for the lending platform, and even though it wasn't announced, it kind of coincided with that. And the way that the lending platform looks was that anything that's available on Binance's margin trading platform is going to be available for lending. So it was inevitable, really, that it would become available for lending, and as a result, maybe have a bit of a pump. Now, that is a theory; it's not proven. What you can say is that we also broke out of this formation here, this triangle formation, and we broke out of that. That's been formed all the way from the beginning here. We came back down to test it on this level here, and this level here is where we tested it, and we broke up from it. We also bounced from it here. So we on this level we have found significant bounces. That you could call that a bounce and a half, to be honest with you. This one was also on the back of Coinbase, but it kind of worked. But again, we formed an apex and we broke out of it to the up. So there's two things you could say it is to do with. But what we're now looking at is the technical analysis side of things, and what we can say is that this 10-day close is hopefully going to become a support if we were to get down that low. And I think it's quite plausible that we will get down that low because Bitcoin is coming down. So I'll go on to Bitcoin now, because like I say, that's all there is to say about Matic. We're waiting for it to test that support and see if it holds, and if it doesn't hold, then we're going to be looking to meet our way in around about the centre of the daily Bollinger Band. But with Bitcoin, for instance, a little easier to chart this one, to be honest with you. Bitcoin's always a lot easier to chart, and I've been saying now for quite a while that it's coming down, and this is how I see it from now. And those who watch my channel, yeah, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but generally with Bitcoin, I'm pretty much always right, because Bitcoin has been going for a lot longer. It's not that I'm being arrogant or anything like that. I'm used to doing traditional markets, and they've been around for a very long time, and technical analysis works on something that's aged, and Bitcoin's 10 years old, so it's still relatively young, but it's old enough to have a relatively reliable technical analysis, I suppose you could say. So generally, most of the time, I'm relatively accurate with it. And when I'm saying accurate, I'm talking, on the daily chart. I'm not talking signaling. I can't tell you what's going to happen, in the next few hours. What I can say is what's probably going to happen, given a reasonable amount of time, and I'm talking maybe a couple of weeks. So now we're tightening up this Bollinger Band here, and what we're looking to see is more wicks coming down to test this level here of 8,000 and below. And we've wicked into here almost every day, every other day when we first broke our way down here, and then we found our little pump, which is fine because this is exactly what we were doing when we met the 10,000 area. We did this all the way through September, more or less. So quite a long time we spent on that $10,000 area. I kind of expect to see a similar setup going on with this $8,000 area, and I'm more inclined to see it break down than I am to see it pump and break up from this area. So we've wicked into it several times. We had our first candle body close into it here just last week, and then we launched from that. That's very similar to what we saw here. A candle body closed within it for the first time. We actually broke beneath that area, but then when we wicked up, we wicked right up, but then we broke straight down again. So this is like a condensed version of what we saw here, because it's a battle between the bulls and the bears, and the bears have got the upper hand at this point now, because there'll be a lot of bears that have been involved, probably from the 11,200 area, which is where I was involved in, because once I saw that breakdown, I thought that we're pretty much in the bag, at least into the 7,000s. So there'll be a lot of people in the same boat as me, because it became clear to us at that stage what's going to happen over time. So what I do think is going to happen is that we're going to start seeing wicks close into this, poke its way into the $8,000 area, and then we'll see candle bodies close into the $8,000 area, and the more it gets tested, and the lower the highs, meaning that eventually it's going to break down beneath that into the 7,000s. And my overall goal, and I've been saying this for a while now, my overall goal is just down here, just above this cloud at 6,600. That's where I would expect to see the reversal of Bitcoin, and that's where my buy orders are going to be. Quite significant amount of buy orders, maybe even relatively high leverage at that point as well, because I do believe that that will be the turning point for Bitcoin. So just hold on to your horses for the moment. We're probably going to be dancing around this little area now for a little while longer. We had a bit of a breakdown today, but nothing serious. I would still maybe expect to see us come back up to test this 200 exponential. That's floating around $8,600 area. I'd like to see us test that area again so I can place another short, because I don't want to short anywhere around here. I want to short up here once it makes one of these, you call it a fake out, because we did that several times in this area. Even when we broke up from here and we broke straight back down again, broken all the way down back into the box, we had a fake out before we came back down, back into the box, fake out, all the way back down again. So it's dangerous to be shorting it around these areas. You really want to be trying to catch one of these guys here, that when it breaks above the 200 exponential, anything above 8,600 be a really good area to short from. And bear in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so it's not financial advice. This is my game plan, you see. And I like to plan these moves ahead of schedule. I don't sit at my computer all day, every day, sort of trading blindly. I make a note of where it is likely to go, and if it meets that target, then I press the trigger, and that's what I'll be planning on doing here. So I do expect to see it bounce back up again, maybe touch this area, and then I will short it back down again. Close it within this box, because it's probably going to, like I say, it's not going to break down immediately, and then wait till it comes back up with another fake out. And then short that again. So yeah, it's just a matter of buying and selling within this area. But now our Bollinger Band area is tightening. We've got a smaller range to play with, pretty much just about 7.5% worth of top to bottom. So it's not big. It's not a big area to play with when you're thinking about Bitcoin anyway. So that's the deal. That's the plan. That's the deal with Matic. 170 Satoshis. Probably maybe think about buying some back for a possible bounce, and everything I've just explained with Bitcoin. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you have a nice evening, and take it easy. Thanks for watching.